Okay, I was able to get back here. I was a little worried, but the nice thing about early winter camping is that even though there's like 6 inches of fresh snow, there's no ice underneath it. There's not that layer of freeze thaw where you have the ice under there. I do have my snow chains with me. I have everything with me, so I was confident that I'd be getting back here, but I didn't have to put the snow chains on, which is really nice. So push the trailer right back into the woods here. Beautiful spot right off the road. You know, it's going to be just a wonderful camping trip. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for some beautiful scenery and hopefully some trout fishing. Getting in a little late. Probably, I don't know if you can see on the video, but it's getting dark. But this is a chimney cap here. Take this off, put the chimney in. You see the truck. Got those lights for, they're handy. The ones in the back for backing up are super handy. I obviously doing a lot of, you know, outdoor stuff. Backing up in the dark is something you're gonna do. The side lights are perfect for working on your gear. Usually a lot when I'm hunting. The cap just comes off. Chimney, double wall, so there's two layers in there. So first, put that one in there. And there we go. So there we go, just like that, camp is set up. Nice bright lights. Just me in the woods. So this is my first trip using the diesel heater. Kind of keep it in here is just an old DeWalt toolbox. And basically all it is a power supply, muffler, exhaust. This is the exhaust pipe. It just screws into the side of the diesel heater. Screw that on until it's nice and tight. This will shoot out the side. So this goes into a duct that I have cut out in the hole of the floor, and the power supply will go the GFI outlet that I have in the back of Eddie. There. And there we go. This will fire up and it will be kicking out some serious heat. Should have put a tarp on this last night, but snow is nice and light, so at least we got to scoop it out of there pretty easily. So I got the raft loaded up and I'm heading to one of my favorite rivers in Michigan. The water levels are really low, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to go float down the river in the snow. It's early December, so we usually don't get this much snow at this time of year. I'm going to be putting in and drifting down the flies only section, so it's strictly catch and release. Again, I'm not really expecting to have a whole lot of luck. Hopefully, best case scenario, you're going to see some beautiful footage of the river when it's covered in snow. I'm pretty confident I'll have the river to myself. With all this snow, this really keeps the anglers away. All the access points are, you know, they're accessible, but if they don't get plowed, a lot of people don't try to get down there and risk getting stuck. So I'm pretty confident there won't be a lot of people down there. It should be a nice, quiet float. Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice day. Woo. A little faster launch than I would have liked. Let's get the idea. Okay, I'm just gonna go park the truck. I have a shuttle driver that's gonna take care of the truck for me, brings it to the next put out. Then I basically just float the raft down the river. My truck will be waiting for me. Prior to this trip, I had to do some reconfiguring of my oar towers. Again, just trial and error. If you haven't watched my video, I built this raft myself, and I used basically chain link fence tubing, and EMT for the elbows. And if you're interested, I got a link here. You can watch the video on how I built this raft. But the only drawback to it was the oar towers were a little tricky. The water is low here. Watch the rocks. But just before this trip, I redid the oar towers, and they're pretty much perfect. I'm not a whitewater rafting dude, but these are pretty much as comfortable. I think your elbow is 90-degree angle. The other ones were too low, so I couldn't move back and forth without hitting the water. I don't know. I'm not sure what perfect is, but this feels like it. I'm going to try to stop this here. Haven't had much luck fishing. It's just nice to get down the river. For me, going down the river is more of exploring. If I catch some fish, great. I'm not on this river all the time, so I'm fishing blindly. I've had success, but in the past. But today's more just enjoying floating down the river in the snow. Hopefully get some nice shots for you guys to see. Well, unfortunately the drone's not going to happen. I charged all the batteries up and they got cold, and now the drone went up and just back down into the water. So unfortunately, all this beautiful scenery, I'm not going to be able to get on the drone. So I don't know, maybe tomorrow. So this section of river is why I have a raft. Beautiful, but I came in here in the spring, pretty cold, and I went head first, fell into some fallen tree, ripped up my waders. A little scary, so I was like, you know what? My days of being adventurous wading are probably done. Probably time to get a raft. Access to so much more water, especially on rivers where it's a lot of private land. This is a public area here, but you can only get so far. Beautiful paddle. Seen some fish. Tried some great spots, just no luck. But again, this is all about just enjoying a paddle down the river. In early December, but with a lot of snow. Usually there's not this much snow. The river is really low. Had to get out and walk the raft a few times, which is not a big deal, but I think tomorrow I might just go just walk down some trails and do a little fishing that way. And leave the raft at the camp. And just enjoy, so there's some really nice trails to go walk and get to some pretty good fishing spots. So that'll probably be what I do tomorrow. It's a beautiful stretch of river, as kind of expected. Didn't really have any luck. It's a long drift and it got pretty cold, so I decided to spend more time rowing than actually fishing, just to try to get some footage, and had some trouble with the drone, but I think it was worthwhile. It really made for a nice, really relaxing float down the river. Home sweet home. I get things sorted out. Great thing about that diesel heater is drying things. I got my gloves up here. I had my boots over this. Game changer right there. To have dry boots, winter camping. That is the diesel heater outlet. Dry heat coming out of there. It's perfect for the boots. Well, this is my first trip with the new slide out. We've been following the channel. This is a big change from the kitchen that I've had for years now. And it's simplicity, so there's really not a lot, except that I have a smoker on my trips now, which I'm super excited about. I already took out the stainless steel table, but really what I use this now for is storage mainly. So basically, as you can see, there's really not a lot on this, but I love the practicality of it. It's just a flat surface that slides out. They're 500-pound slides. I keep my folding storage unit here from Cabela's, and I got my shelf, I got some pellets, I got some folding tables that all kind of go on here so it fits the space nice. This is a Traeger Ranger, and I have a new outlet on the back of Eddie here, so I just plug it in and we're ready to go. This is just a folding stainless steel table that I just got from Amazon. My original plan when I did this was to have the smoker just on the slide, but I ended up putting this rubber kind of checkerboard coating on the plywood to protect it, and I started up the Traeger. It gets a little warm for that, so I always need extra storage anyway, so it's nothing just to take this, put it on here. And another beauty of that is that because smoking takes a long time, you know, sometimes you've got things on there for 8 hours, I can shut all this, move the stainless steel table over here, let the smoker do its thing, and all this isn't open and exposed if it's raining or whatever, because this does pretty good with the weather. And everything can just go in there, close this up, and that's it. So this is luckily it has a long enough cord. My plug is right here. As far as outdoor kitchen workspaces go, I think this is pretty tough to beat. Lots of just open space to put stuff on. The smoker is going now, it's just reached temp, so it's at 350. I'm gonna cook some chicken thighs and bone it, chicken thighs with the skin on. Things that to barbecue over charcoal or a gas grill, you get flare-ups. Absolutely one of my favorite things to cook on a smoker is just chicken thighs. It's simple. It tastes way better than the work that you put into it. It seems like it should be a lot more involved to make chicken that tasty, but chicken thighs are the best. So I got 5 big thighs that'll fit on there nicely. Got some Brussels sprouts I'm going to cook on my stovetop here with the propane. This is a stovetop that I've had. This kind of fits in a drawer in the pantry inside Eddie, but I use it out here all the time as well. Yeah, so let's get cooking. The nice thing about the smoker is a probe. And there. There's a little indent right here. Put the probe in. Probe's 52 degrees, 53 degrees. Couldn't be any easier for cooking when you're outdoors busy doing other stuff. Probe's reading 165. Let's take a look at it. Pretty darn good. Look at that. Smokers, man, you cannot beat them. No flare-ups. Chickens cook perfect every time. It's not sponsored by them, just love them. Look at that. Just perfect. Okay, Brussels sprouts are done. Chicken looks done. I'm gonna put it on the plate, bring it inside Eddie, and then I'll see you at the table. So if you've been watching the channel, you know I've used a charcoal grill for the last couple of years, and it's been fun. Like it, good flavor. But I got a smoker at home in the spring, and I've used it this summer, and I should have got one years ago. I absolutely love it. And as soon as I realized they had one small enough to fit in Eddie, I picked one up. And this is the first trip where I've used it to cook something, and it's a winter camping trip. It makes it easy to cook. Put a probe in the meat, don't have to worry about it. I find it more relaxing. And quite frankly, the flavor is the best. You cannot beat cooking chicken thighs on a smoker. It's the only way to do it. And it works like an oven too. I'm going to try to do different things. I've looked at a lot of cool recipes on the Traeger website, like making bread and desserts and even some cocktails. So if you like the smoker thing, I'm just scratching the surface on all the things that I can do with it. And stay tuned, because I got a lot of winter camping coming up, and there's going to be a lot of cool recipes I'm going to start playing around with. So food's getting cold though, so I'll catch you in a bit. Well, you can probably hear the generator running in the background. That's new. I got it for mainly winter camping videos when solar is not really available. December, shorter days, overcast skies, usually in the woods. So solar doesn't really charge up the batteries that great. So it's hard to give you an idea how quiet the generator is, but I'm talking my normal voice. You can probably obviously hear it running. It's just a nice luxury to have for basically longer trips. That's the main thing. I've gone winter camping with my battery system for 5 days and got near the end of things, but never really had a problem. But this just gives me options. I didn't know how much power I'd be drawing with the diesel heater now, running that, and running the smoker. So I thought it was time to kind of add that to the arsenal of winter gear. So just to give you an idea with the generator, I've been running it just under 2 hours, and it's charged up my batteries 20%. So I went from 39% battery life to 60% battery life, and that's just under 2 hours. Generator ran out of gas, so this is the first time using it, so I really needed to baseline on what to expect. And it's also nice to know that I can use some energy heavy consumption items like the induction cooktop and some other things that really draw a lot of power. And now I won't have to be worried about drawing it on the batteries, because an induction cooktop really sucks the life out of a battery bank, so especially in the wintertime. So just to give you an idea and some clarification on the generator. I started my DeWalt chainsaw this way. I hear a lot of people complain that, well, most chainsaws don't hold the oil, but I find if I store it this way, it doesn't leak a whole lot of oil. In fact, that pretty much keeps it all. Here is kind of an example. Something like that. You can see the oil level. You know, it generally doesn't leak into the plastic case that I carry it in, so I'm going to top it up, but that's really not too bad. So this is the part of the trip where I'm going to put the cameras aside and wrap things up as far as the video goes. I try to balance my trips now with filming and working and trying to get the best experience to put up for a video, so people can appreciate the woods and the experiences and the adventures that I go on. But also for me, trying to enjoy things without constantly thinking about filming and everything else. So I'm going to be here for a few more days, but I'm going to put my cameras away and pack things up and hopefully have enough footage here for a good video, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, I would really appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up and really shared it, and check my profile out on Instagram. It just helps build the channel, and putting all this work in, I would like to continue to grow my channel and expand to bigger audiences all the time, so that would be fantastic. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you along for the adventure. The trailer build is just about done and finalized. There's always things to tweak, but now I'm focused on mainly more adventures and traveling. If you haven't been watching, my wife just recently had back surgery. She's doing great. Recovery's going really well. If you made it this far in the video, if you have any questions, I really like to hear them. If you're curious about modifications that I made to the trailer, the new diesel heater, the generator. I mentioned the generator. Hopefully I mentioned this in the video, but I don't run it the entire time I'm here. I just will be running it to top up the batteries if I ever get to the point where the batteries get low. I don't like the idea of having a generator running all the time and the noise of it, even though it's a quiet generator. Simply just to top up the batteries, just a safe thing to have in case, you know, for whatever reason the batteries go low. That's all. That's what the generator is going to be for. You're not going to see it in a lot of videos. I like the peace and quiet of not running one, that's for sure. So that's going to wrap things up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.